With us next is Nancy Rosen, Human Resources Manager for Right at Home. Nancy, great to see you.
Good morning.
So how do you prepare your caregivers to work with clients who have dementia?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Well, to start with, the first thing we have to do is there are a number of statewide certifications and trainings that we have to satisfy, and some of those do have to do with Alzheimer's and related dementias. So that's the first thing we have to accomplish. But I think what we really excel at is going a step further and talking about things that are related to dementia that people don't even think about, such as things like thickened liquids. Later on in a dementia process, some folks do have difficulty swallowing. So we will go ahead and teach our caregivers how to do a thickened liquid. Things like honey thickened, nectar thickened, and pudding thickened liquids. It's just an example, but that's one of the things that we will go ahead and do to prepare our caregivers for some folks who are later on in their disease.
So very detail-oriented, of course, with the goal of being as helpful as possible. Now, we know that there are, speaking of being helpful, a lot of organizations involved in our Alzheimer's research. What organizations do you partner with in regards to this disease?
Yeah, thank you. Well, of course, the Alzheimer's Association and our parent company, Right at Home, we are partners with them. And locally, we are very closely related to and partner with Memory Matters. Right at Home is celebrating their 13th anniversary, and we have been partners with Memory Matters since their inception as well. In fact, we have just finished going through the Purple Angel project with them, where they have come in and done a training for our caregivers to make sure that they are ready to enter a home with someone with Alzheimer's or related dementia and be able to just sort of hit the ground running with those skills.
That Purple Angel project, just as an aside, is really important, and I'm so glad that we have access to it here in the Lowcountry.
Yes, a lot of businesses are getting their certification through them.
Exactly right. So please, if you would, can you share just one great success story with us?
Yeah, certainly. I think a lot of our success stories come with our live-ins. We currently have a lady living on Hilton Head Island, and she's got a live-in caregiver. And what happens with that is a lot of our folks with dementia certainly have that cognitive component where they're not quite sure of the day, the time, they're not oriented. However, they are ambulatory. So kind of the concern that comes with that is that the elopement, leaving the house with that confusion. So what happens there is someone actually lives in the home with them, and they pretty much live out their day with them. When they're awake, the caregiver's awake. When they're asleep, the caregiver's asleep. So when they go grocery shopping, they take the client with them. So they're basically a shadow with them. So as long as we make a good match, it's a great success.
Well, Nancy, it's so great to hear about all that you and Right at Home do. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.